Student kita boleh nampak ke?
From the number of viewers lah nantilah.
Okay.
Sebenarnya ambil masa sikit, dah panas ni.
Tak, sebab macam tak nampak siapa yang masuk. Kita berdua je tu.
Nanti kita boleh nampak yang mata tu, the number of viewers lah kan. Tapi right now senyap sepi lagi. So setelah kita nak we should go live.
Kita sembang kita berdua lah nampaknya.
Alright, so we wait for 5 people lah. I mean we wait for 5 minutes at the very least lah. 8:35.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, so Megat, while waiting for people and while kita hangat sikit. Okay, what do you think of the soalan yang terdapat lah daripada budak-budak kan? Should these youngsters, these new 18 and 19 students go out mengundi for the upcoming general election soon?
Okay, so first of all, thanks for the question. Okay, to answer that, I'm not going to straightly answer whether the youngsters should vote or not.
Discussion, okay?
I know. It's a general discussion. First of all, why do we have an election, and why must we vote or not vote, and who should we vote, and what is the impact of if we not vote or join ourselves in the participate in the election. Okay, first of all, in our democratic country like Malaysia, kita mix lah kot. Aku tak ada make example BI sepenuhnya. Okay, so in the negara demokrasi Malaysia, kita memilih kerajaan based on through the party. We call the political party that join the election, and through the vote we choose a person to represent the people in the parliament, constitutional parliament, or the the area, and then to bring out the voice of the people in the parliament, and to make sure that whether the voice of the people being heard and being brought out into the parliament. Okay, so then bila daripada suara rakyat dibawa ke parlimen tu, kerajaan akan tentukan dasar dari masa ke semasa. So for youngsters yang right now the government have, kita kata dah luluskan dah undang-undang untuk 18 ke atas untuk dibolehkan mengundi secara automatik. So untuk pengetahuan semua pelajar yang dah berumur 18, okay, 18 pelajar yang 18-19, you have right to vote now. The government consider all of you are adult, have a right to vote, to choose leaders from any political parties that will join in the election, to bring out your voice to the to the parliament. Okay, proses parlimen maknanya bila suara wakil dah dilantik, and then they bring out the voice of the people into the parliament, then the majority will decide what is the current policies that suit to the people at that current particular time. So maksudnya kalau remaja tanya, malas dah nak mengundi, apa guna mengundi, beratur panjang-panjang, buang satu undi, and then pemimpin dah dipilih, dia orang bukannya berkhidmat pun. Okay, macam contoh kita kata, walaupun kita pilih satu gabungan, doesn't mean that all our voice perfectly will bring up into the parliament, semua akan dibuat. Okay, sebab jutaan rakyat Malaysia yang mengundi, dia akan ada suara yang berbeza. But then kalau once we participate to vote for the public in the election, at least that we have a voice, we have a right to voice out what we satisfy and what we not satisfy, what the should be called our suggestion to the government for the people on that time. Okay, jadi kalau kata contoh orang yang tak mengundi and then suddenly kerajaan buat dasar yang tak menguntungkan orang muda contohnya. Jadi masa tu kalau kita rasa kerajaan tak sepatutnya buat itu, buat ini sebagainya, then we should ask ourselves before we condemn the government, kita mengundi tak hari tu? Kita terlibat mengundi tak? Then kalau kita kata saya beratur membuat undi, saya pilih parti ni tapi calon yang saya pilih tu kalah, then we have a right to voice out whether the government should do this, should do that, should decide on this, kita kata dasar tertentu untuk remaja dan sebagainya. Tapi kalau kita rasa buang masa lah beratur, buang masa itu ni sebagainya, kalau pilih pun aku macam ni juga, then you have no right to argue what is the decision of the current government kalau government buat keputusan yang tak menguntungkan rakyat, sebab you tak mengundi, you tak pilih sesiapa pun. Jadi kita ambil tanggungjawab, even tu orang kata mengundi just sekali dalam 5 tahun, tetapi pilihan undi yang sekali itulah menentukan dasar kerajaan dalam masa 5 tahun tersebut. So that's my opinion then.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, alright. Itu a bit of sembang santai, ambil tahu hal negara.
Apa tu? Because kita nak buka mata pelajar kita yang dah berumur 18, because they have right to vote, so they should know their right.
Yes, at the very least.
Because
it takes years lah nak menurunkan undi tu from 21 to 18. It really take years. Dulu kena register, now
it's automatically. Okay, so maksudnya student pun dah boleh check dah nama mereka dalam daftar pemilih SPR, whether nama mereka dah ada dalam daftar pemilih ke belum, parlimen mana, dun mana, kawasan mana sebagainya. Then they decide whether to go back to their hometown to vote or not.
Okay, right. Okay, viewers, so let's begin our tonight main session.
Berapa orang ada sekarang ni?
Around 9 people.
9, okay.
Okay, right. So we can start lah. Okay, so saya Rodhi dengan Sir Megat akan collab lah macam saja hello kan. Megat coffee malam ni join dengan macam tu kan.
Boleh je.
Sir Megat is a very senior lecturer. He has a lot of things to share lah. Okay, so I'll choose the question, and after this you choose the question, then we tukar-tukar lah. You okay?
Okay, Rodhi. Sekejap.
Yes.
Student memang dia, kalau sekarang ni live kita berdua je yang ada video yang keluar gambar ke, ataupun yang student pun boleh keluar gambar juga?
Kita 2 orang saja.
2 orang je? Okay.
But they may ask as anything lah.
Okay,
so let me tell you. Tell us where you from. Tell us where you are. Okay, viewers, tell us where you from. Which uni, which college are you from?
Who, me?
Student lah, aku tengok nanti.
Oh, student.
Aku tulis situ.
Okay,
so let's begin with this question. This is a little bit tricky.
Rodhi.
Yes.
Rodhi, the question tell us which college you're from, meaning that it's not only from KMPP.
Yes, not only from KMPP.
Okay.
Ada Labuan ada, which is quite interesting lah.
Okay. I miss Labuan.
Okay, so you start in Labuan.
I began my career in Labuan College, Matrices Labuan, years of September 16, 2003. Okay, I came there with 16 of my colleagues in one plane. We reached there, and then pergi sana dulu bujang. So for almost 10 years I've been there, 2003 until 13. Daripada bujang sampai anak 3, anak 4. And then pindah ke Sarawak 2 tahun, dapat seorang lagi 5. And then balik ke Penang, seorang di Kedah pula. So 7 orang lah, 6, 7 lebih kurang betul. Tak ingat mana satu yang lahir di Sarawak dengan Penang, Labuan. Tapi itulah, we call it quite a sweet memory in Labuan. So I really miss that. We call that college, the view, the scene, and the small little island. So that's sharing from me.
Okay, alright. So let's begin. Okay, for this question here, there are multiple way of doing things, but the thing that you need to remember, in my opinion, is that if you remember this, if I give you determinant A times with determinant B, then it simply times it up, the value of determinant. So let's say if determinant A is 2 and B is 5, so basically we're going to get our 3. So this is the concept that you need to know. So on how I'll proceed with this question, see here, module the determinant A is, what is determinant of A to the power of 5? We can view this to be something like this: A times A times A times A, right? So you can simply say -3 and times -3 and so on. So how many A's is it going to be? So there's going to be going to be 5 A's. All right. So simply just -3 to the power of 5. And I believe the answer is -243. So the answer is C in this case. Right, viewers, are you guys okay? If you want us to re-explain, please write down in the chat. Okay, to viewers, you may PM me personally your questions kalau you malu bertanya ke depan ke apa. Boleh je. So, dalam Telegram chat tu, you can PM me over there if you want to.
Okay.
Right, so this is for me. Good.
Okay, so actually that saya sebenarnya bidang payung terjun be invited by Mr. Rodhi we call before I clock out this evening. So I haven't made any preparation. I just thought that when we have a set of questions, especially might come up from the students, and I'm just ready to answer the question from any of the students then.
Okay.
So at this moment, I don't have any preparation yet. But then I think that Rodhi,
Yes.
can you just continue with a few questions before that? I trying to pick up the question from the set that you sent me just now.
Sure. Just
Okay.
choose any question. Yeah.
Okay.
Until they ask us, then hey, we can just choose any questions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the next questions. Anyway, thank you, Megat, for joining us.
No, we call berbesar hati that we invite into this session. We call no, because sometimes that I think that we are now in years of 2022, not 2012 or 2002. That every time that we need some we call consultation or session like this, we need to meet the teachers face to face.
Exactly.
But then in this era, we have to accept both of the method, face to face, physically or online, because kalau kita nak usaha, then we have to accept whatever we have. Then kita ada apa yang ada di masa sekarang lah. Okay. So take all the opportunities.
In other words, ni hati muda lah.
Okay, umur 42 is just a numbers.
Coming from math teacher. Okay. So let's try this question. So we want to find the value of B. From here. So we need to take A out from this equation. We need to take this one out. How do we take it out? The formal method will be that you multiply A inverse on the left and A inverse on the left as well. The trick is if you multiply it here, it needs to be here on the left side. Here it need to be also be on the left side. Okay, so A inverse times A. Here we get yourself an identity. B times B. So the right side remains as it is. A inverse C. And what happens when I times B? I times B remains B. So that's the answer at the end of the day. Okay, what I've seen, the most familiar, the most common mistakes from students is that they are not that particular with where the time is it. So I'll show you one. This will be the mistake. So A, B equals to C. And they just put it over here and put it on the right side. Where here is on the left. One moment. Here's on the left and here's on the right. The moment lecturer or the marker of your exam, your Shinigami, angel of death, the moment we see the left and right, well, the examiner will just cross it out. No hard feelings, 0 marks for you. Okay, am I right? This is the common mistakes in exams. Hello?
Yeah.
This is
I'm trying to searching a question to cut and paste into my PowerPoint. Okay, just continue first because I need to make a preparation with 1 or 2 questions.
Okay. Right. So the answer B A equals C. So it will be C. 3C will be the answer. Is it? I haven't seen the answer properly. 3C, yes. Okay, Megat, when you're ready, let me know.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so dengan me and Megat and I, we are pretty much the guy who nanti kita orang fikir. So yeah, I haven't done this yet. Okay, so pretty much if what you see us here is very genuine, is that we are thinking right now.
Okay, so I had chose two questions. I'm trying to make a preparation now, cut and paste into my PowerPoint.
Okay, aku bagi habis satu soalan.
Okay.
Okay, so here you got yourself the 2 and 3, and you need to remember 2 is a row and column. RC. Okay, row and column. How gonna remember the RC? The way I remember is a remote control. So it's a row and column. So you remember that way. So first, the 2 is the row. Row is here. Column is the other way around. This is row. Column is here. I think it's easier for us to memorize which one is column, because column Melayu tiang, and it's far more easier to remember which way lah. So the column is the third column, and the row it tells us the second row. So it means here, right? 1.
Okay.
We're going to the 1. Okay, so we want to find the minor of that. Okay, the way, if you want to find the minor, so you're going to start at 1. So let's zoom here. What we do is we shoot a laser here. So that is your minor that you want to calculate, which is 4, 3, and 1, 2. So how you calculate from there? 4, 3, 1, 2. You multiply these two, 8. Then multiply these 2, 3, and in the middle you minus them up. So you get yourself 5. So the answer is C. Hopefully I got it right. Yeah, okay, correct. One more C. Okay, are you ready?
Okay, ready.
Okay, viewers, are you okay? Are we too fast with you? Viewers? Right.
Okay, let me.
Okay, viewers, do tell us which college are you from as well. Okay, Megat, the floor is yours. You want to share your screen?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Rodhi, for let me join the sharing session with all the students then. Okay, so I'm impressed with Mr. Rodhi's effort to make this session. For the last time, I thought that he was only did this only for KMPP students, but since that he told me just now that this open to all the matriculation from any other college then. So his effort across the border of the college. It's not just doing the good thing for his students only, just for his class only, tutorial or the good student of MPP, but sharing with the with the others from other college session with other college too. So hopefully the rest of you enjoyed this moment, not just with me today, but then also with Mr. Rodhi from the beginning. And lepas ni pun ada lagi session. Okay, now sharing the session here. Okay, this is a question that I select. Okay, but before that, may I share something, Rodhi?
Okay.
Okay. Just to all the students, this is we got promoting my YouTube channel. It's not because kita kata taklah sehebat Mr. Rodhi ataupun kita kata banyak yang kita kata bombastic apa semua, but this just a little effort from me apa yang saya tahu cara yang boleh digunakan just to help the student in the in the studies last time. Okay, so yang sudi-sudi datanglah tengok nanti ya Megat Mathematics Channel 2022. Okay, so let's get back to the session here now.
Okay, nanti saya includekan channel ke link ke Megat lah.
Okay. So class, okay, this is one of the question that I chose for the topic of function and graph. Okay, as we know that for this function of fx is a quadratic, so for fx equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, as we know that the value of the coefficient of x squared will determine whether the graph will give you a smile graph or with a set graph. Okay, smile with a minimum point, meaning that the lowest value of y, or the maximum, the highest, the biggest value of y, the highest value of y at the peak of this graph. Okay, and then from here, since that even though the function here fx equal to x squared plus 3, we have 1 here actually, meaning that when a equal to 1, which is greater than 0, then the graph will be we call smile graph with a minimum point. Okay, so this kind of graph is not a one-to-one function. Okay, x squared plus 3 is not a one-to-one function. So then right now it's okay, never mind, it's not a one-to-one, but right now we like to find out what is f not g with a value of x equal to -10. Okay, in this okay, class, I'll share with you, even though UPS in objective mode, but then because topic 5 is part of the topic that will appear again in the examination, so I'll share both in a what we call objective mode and also what we call subjective writing, we call the real papers of examination. Because in the examination class, for the students, let me clarify something. Might be last time when you are in form 4 and form 5, if your teachers give you a questions, okay, that can bring up you for 10 marks, and then you do such a mess, we call working solution, if we have no idea what the students is trying to say, we call trying to tell to the teachers, the step, we call the working solution or step is very how can I say that, terrible, but then at the end the final answer is correct. Okay, your teacher will still give you a marks for the final answers, even though the working step or the solution is very terrible. But then in matriculation and above, it's not about what we call final answers anymore. It's all about the concept. The student knows the content and the concept of the topics, know what to do in the first step, second step, and from the beginning until the end. So class, for example, if let's say in SPM and PSPM, sorry, PSPM, okay, this is SPM 4.5. Let's say your working solution step is all terrible, but then your final answer suddenly x equal to something 2, for example, this is the correct answer. Yes, your teacher will still give you 1 mark. Okay, even though your step working all is all terrible, but suddenly you get it equal correct, you still get a marks. But then let's say for PSPM, if you do such a terrible working solution, but yet your final answer is correct, but we still give you wrong. Why? Because the correct final answer must come up from the correct working solution or steps. Okay, but then let's say if your because first step is correct, you will get 1 marks K1. K stands for jalan kerja. Okay, J stands for jawapan. And then your next step is correct too, another K mark. But then your answers here might be what we call incorrect. So you get J for jawapan 0. But then you use these answers in the next step, you still get a K mark, okay, 1 marks, okay. And then your final answer, because you get it incorrect, wrong or incorrect in this here, so your final answer we also get 0. Class, In PSPM, if your working solution is terrible and your final answer is correct, in SPM you will get 1
I
mark.
didn't know that.
But here in matriculation, you will get nothing here. So, but then let's say if you do this, on this, you will still get 3 out of 5 marks, for example. Okay. So sharing this one with the students then.
This is very good, very
So
very
please,
informative, in
uh,
my opinion,
okay. Okay.
behind the
So
scene.
to all my students, uh, your SPM is a past and is the past. So don't bring up that we call that mindset in PSPM matriculation here. So let's get back to the question here now. So fx equal to x squared plus 3 and gx equal to 5 over x. Okay, for this kind of question, there are two different approach, or not too much different, a little bit different. Okay, first of all, okay, idea number one. Let's we call complete the composite between f and g first. F gx. Okay, so class, the process of composite function is where we substitute the whole function of g into an x of the function f. Okay, for gx, it is 5 over x, and substitute the whole of 5 over x into an x of the function f. So then it become 5 over x square plus 3. So then 25 divided by x squared plus 3. Okay, class. I told my students that uh, might be with this solution, let's say for this solution, it carry up 3 marks. Okay, 3 marks, for example. So for the students, if they just stop here, which I think that is more than enough, meaning that the student know how to complete the process of composite function. But then this one should also come out with 25 plus 3x squared divided by x squared. So this is a complete simplifying answers for FGX. And then once you get this, so let's get back to the question then. G, where x equal to negative 10. So then 25 plus 3 negative 10 squared divided by negative 10 squared. Okay, so negative 10 squared equal to 100 times 3 equal to 25 plus 300 divided by negative 10 squared equal to 100. So 325 divided by 100. So simplifying by might be divide by 3 to 5 divided by 5 divided by 10, 25, so on. Which I think that this one 3 to 5 divided by 25. Can somebody give me the clue answers for this? 25, 50, 70, 100, 100, 12, 13, which I think that, okay, 13 times 25. 15, 1, 5, 6, 6, 1, 5, 2, 2. Oh, 3 to 5. Okay. Cuba carilah tengok. Saya pun mungkin silap kot. 3 times 5, 50, 1, 5, 6. Okay, 3 times 2 equal to 6. 1 times 2 equal to 2. Sorry, 2 here. So 3 to 5. So it is 13 divided by 4. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is idea number one, you complete the process of composite function first. Then you substitute the value of x equal to negative 10 into the complete of fgx. Okay, idea number one. Idea number two, fg, you may straightly substitute the value of x equal to negative 10 into an x of the function g. Okay, 5 divided by x equal to negative 10 here. Okay, so 5 divided by negative 10 is negative 1 over 2. Then substitute negative half into an x of the function f. Negative 1 over 2 square plus 3. So it is 1 over 4 plus 3. Okay. Okay, turn this into a fraction with a denominator of 4. So 3 times 4 equal to 12 over 4. So 12 divided by 4 equal to 3. So 12 plus 1 equal to 13 over 4. Exactly the same with a different approach. Okay, so that is the first question from me. And this one here, what is the inverse function of fx? So class, there are few approach, okay, which I think that in matriculation we tell the student there are two approach. The first is f and f inverse of x equal to an x. So substitute f inverse into an x of the function f, then finally we will get what is the f inverse of this function. Okay, and secondly, okay, for me, I'm comfortable because by change this fx into the term of y equal to fx. Okay, then we elaborate until we get it finally here. It is x equal to fy. Then this is the inverse function of x. Okay, so with this one here now, y equal to 1 over 2 square root of x plus 3 minus 5. Okay, now here is in the form of y equal to fx. Okay, so we're going to make this x as a topic here right now. So it is now 1 over 2 square root of x plus 3. Bring this negative 5 to the negative, then y plus 5. Multiply with 2 left and right. So 2 divided by 2, then you get square root of x plus 3. Then we get 2 times y plus 5. And then we would like to eliminate this sign of the surd or square root sign here by squaring both sides. Okay, so then clear this, you get x plus 3 equal to 2 square equal to 4 and y plus 5 square. And then x equal to 4y plus 5 square minus 3. So now this is in the form of x equal to fy. So this is the inverse of the function, which is 4. Okay, 4x plus 5 square minus 3. Okay, Mr. Rodhi, at this moment, I just prepare with the two questions first, then get back to you.
Okay, right, sure. Just analyzing something. Yeah. Yes, this is very interesting. Okay, viewers, if you have any question, you may PM me the Telegram. Okay, so dah ada put email ke situ. In the details, there's a link to the Telegram.
Wong's chemistry territory. Whoa, okay.
What? Wong is here?
Okay.
Oh,
Miss Wong.
oh,
Rodhi, your colleague?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Miss Wong. Nice to see you. Okay. Thanks for coming, Miss Wong. Right. So let's move on to something. Okay. So let's try this question. I find it to be quite interesting. Right. So now you're given two matrices here, A and B, and you're given where A times B equals I. So you can say here A and B. If the question asks you, if the question in an exam, they may ask you the question, what is the relationship of A and B? This might be possible exam question, right? Then the answer will be they are inverse of each other. Because if multiply, you got inverse, you got identity, so that means they're inverse of each other. Okay. So now you want to find the value of x and value of y. There are multiple ways of solving this one here. I'm not saying that. No. I mean, the most conventional, the calculation method will be something like this. Okay. So since A times B, I, so I can say 1 to x. I mean, I is basically just 100010001. So you might want to use the manual way of calculation. I mean, try multiply them one by one. So I've seen this from my students. I did not learn this when I was in my school days.
Oh, okay.
Do you learn this way, Megat?
Which one
The
then?
matrix multiplication, they do this way.
Multiplication because with A B equal to I.
I mean, how
A
you
long
gonna
time
multiply
ago.
that? The manual way of calculation.
Multi- my manual calculation, multiplication of A
Yep.
B.
I've seen students do it this
Okay,
way.
okay, okay. I never seen this before. Sorry, I'm sorry. No, no, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
as well as my student.
No.
I've never seen this as well. I never learned this. And we know the identity answer is 1000010. The monster is here. The monster is here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The monster has arrived.
Whoa. Okay.
Hello viewers. Please share
Hi,
your
boy.
identity,
Oh,
Okay, so
daddy's boy.
yeah, he likes to play around. Okay, so we multiply here. Okay. So that means if I multiply here and here, I'm gonna get this one. Alright, so if you multiply them up, so it will be 1 times negative 2 plus I. He said, yeah, I. Your viewer, he said 2 times 1 and x times 0. Oh, shoot. X times 0. X times 0 is no good. We need the x. We need the x. We do not want the x to be 0. No good. Apa, yes. Wait. Show. We can do multiple ways. Happy.
Oh, Papa. Oh.
Don't take my pen. Damn it. Okay, let's try this way. This multiplied by this, it will give me this answer. Oh, 0 juga. Okay.
Which one then? Okay. I never seen this. I never seen and tried this before. Sorry, I would interrupt you.
You need just to choose the correct one. One moment. I know the calculation, but oh, what do you press? One moment. Can do it here, but that won't be enough. You got here, that's for sure. I think it's okay. Okay, all right. This works. This works. You do not need to find x and y. What is x? What is y? Because the question just one. What is x plus y? Okay, so if we do this one, so 1. If you do this way, so 1 times y plus 2 times 0 plus x plus time 1. Okay, no wonder I cannot find the value, one of them. If you do this way, you see this one is going to cancel out. So y plus x equals to 0, which is exactly as what we're trying to find here. Okay. So the answer is 0. A. Okay, this is by doing the calculation method. It's not that terrible, but I've run through some check. If you look very carefully, this is very it's quite cheeky. Since this is 0, there's a lot of zeros there. This one is 0, this one 0, this one 0, this one 0. So that's the answer. And then I was like, hey, why this one is 2 and why this one is negative 2? Does it work for others? Okay, so that means here, no matter what numbers is here, my x. My goodness, wait, my baby. Whenever I put here, it will always be a negative of it. And then I run through some numbers I go for by using matrix inverse calculator. If you have a lot of zeros, like this one here, like this one is not yet 0. So the inverse is far different. Very different. I mean, see here, this is 3, this is -5, doesn't work. But if I have this 40 here, as you can see, then here 73 is all negative. So this is quite cheeky. And over here, I double check more if there are. Goodness. So if there are 4 zeros, then as you can see here, they are negative of it. Of course, you are unable to get this in exams. Impossible to calculate because I'm using a calculator. Right, it's nice to know. Right, so if I were you in exams, my goodness, if I were you in exams, this is how I'll calculate. As I've shown just now. And yes, it plays quite a trick on me. I thought I can find the value of x, I can find the value of y independently, but we do not need that because I just want to know what is x plus y. Okay, this is quite cheeky. Okay, sorry, Megat, ada soalan nak? Can you continue? One question.
Okay, continue.
This baby.
Okay. So I found that Mr. Rodhi prepared with a few questions based on, we call the topic of 4 matrices. So we call handling the question for the topic of function and graph. Okay, so this, okay, boleh nampak ni?
Okay, right. I'll show.
Okay, so for this one, okay, class, when we given to us a function of y equal to f, okay, no, y equal to square root of fx. Okay, so take this, we call actually it's a graph of, let's say, if I square left and right. Okay, square left and right, it's gonna give you y square equal to fx. No, sorry, for something like this. For example, let's say given to you y equal to square root of x. Okay, so if I change this for a while, okay, looking at this one here, let's say if I come up with y square equal to square here, then y square equal to an x. Okay, most of the time we'll see we meet with a we call the graph of y equal to x squared, where y equal to x squared is a graph of smile, for example, of this. Okay, and y equal to x squared. So how's the graph of x equal to y squared? How is it? Okay, so the graph will be something like this. So this is a graph of y equal to x squared. So the graph of x equal to y squared will be something like this. Okay, this is a graph of y equal to x equal to y squared. So when we square in both left and right here, and you will get we call the equation of y equal to square root of x. So when it comes to this, the value of x, we limit we limit the value of x here because square root of -9. Okay, no. Square root of 9, we see the positive or -3, but mostly we're going to look into the positive value of this, we call the solution of square root of 9. Square root of 4 is going to give you 2. Square root of 2 equal to 1.41 something. And square root of 0 it will equal to 0. So for the we call function of square root of something like this, it will give you a value for all values of x positive 9, 4, 2, and at least when x equal to 0. So when it comes to square root of 4, square root of -4, when it comes to square root of -4, class, in this topic, okay, we learn about real numbers, real part, and imaginary numbers or imaginary part. Okay, that form we call a complex number. But in this topic, we are not dealing with negative. We are not dealing with square root of -4. So in this case, we consider it as undefined. Okay, so uh, when it comes to the graph of x equal to y squared, so then in this case, we are limiting the domain from 0 to positive infinity. Okay, so then now for this one here, we call y equal to square root of x. We limit the domain of x greater than or at least equal to 0. Okay, meaning all the values inside this square root sign must positive or at least equal to 0. So when I stress on that statement, then the value of x must greater than or at least equal to 0. Then let's get back to the question here. Uh, fx equal to square root of 5 minus x. Okay, sorry. I'm supposed to write this in blue ink. Okay, y equal to square root of 5 minus x. So in this case, 5 minus x, the inside this square root sign here, 5 minus x must at least must greater than or at least equal to 0. Okay, or else if let's 5 minus x is then 0, for example, negative x less than -5, then x is greater than 5. Okay, let me choose the value of x greater than 5. Let's say x equal to 6. So square root of 5 minus 6 is going to give you square root of -1. So I did mention just now, for this topic, we are dealing with positive numbers, not imaginary numbers. So when we have square root of -1, this is going to give you I, and we consider this as an undefined. Okay, so now this one here, 5 minus x must greater than or at least equal to 0, then negative x greater than equal to -5, then x less than or equal to 5. Divide by negative, left and right, so the direction change, okay, from greater than it become less than or equal to 5. Okay, class, if you realize that this is automatically the domain of the function, the domain of this fx. So if any question, let's say they give you fx equal to square root of 5 minus x, and then x, they limit as a x greater than or equal to 5, in any questions, class, if they give you this function of fx and additional of the value of x, this automatically become the domain of the function. So do we have, okay, state the domain and range of fx. This fx, given fx here, the domain, do I make any mistake here? Let me see for a while. 5 minus x greater than equal to 0, bring the 5, -5 here. So okay, x less than or equal, meaning in this question of UPS we have two, or what we call two choices now, is either B or D. Okay, negative infinity until 5, including 5, and negative infinity until 5, including 5. So at this moment, C and A, kita dah boleh cancel dah. Now, we like to find the domain of this function. So class, actually that for this, we call for the UPS, because it's a objective mode, we can just simply write down like this. Okay, now x less than or equal to 5 here, and for this square root function is either something like this or something like this. So at this moment here now, okay, so then what is the ratio of this function? Okay, referring to this graph, we point up this graph to the y-axis. Okay, if you see that the graph point to recall map to the y value, y-axis here, starting from 0 to positive infinity, because there's no graph below the x-axis. Any graph that we call below the x-axis is for y that is negative. But then because we call the graph starting from here and above here, so it mapped to the value of y, which is positive, starting from 0 to positive infinity. So the range from 0 to positive infinity, yes, we have this one here. So the answer is B. Okay, so class, this question, the way I'm writing all this and we call the explanation is just like for you to recall for the session for you to as a guidance to answer the UPS is an objective, but in the real examination subjective mode, then we'll share the because kita akan share kemudian nanti lah kalau ada masa nanti. Okay, this is not the proper in subjective mode. Okay, determine the range of the function. So class, look at this one. Determine the range of the function 3 minus 2x, 4x, it lies in between 1 and 3. So guys, girls, automatically, this is the domain of the function. So this is the domain of the function. Okay, now, let's say for fx, y equal to 3 minus 2x. Okay, let's sketch the graph of this function. Okay, sedapnya mengunyah makan. Okay, class. To sketch the graph of linear. Linear means that the highest degree of x which is equal to 1. Okay, this is linear, garis lurus. Okay, so we need just only 2 coordinate. Okay, so my idea is, let's say we come up with when x equal to 0 and when y equal to 0. Okay, when x equal to 0, it will give you a coordinate that lies on x-axis, y-axis. And for y equal to 0, it will give you a coordinate that lies on x-axis. So when the graph cut at x-axis, y equal to 0. And when the graph cut the y-axis, then x equal to 0. So when x equal to 0 here, when x equal to 0, so negative 2 times 0 equal to 0, then y equal to 3. Okay, so the coordinate of 0 and 3. And then when y equal to 0, y 3 minus 2x equal to 0. So negative 2x equal to negative 3 and x equal to 3 over 2. So means that here x equal to 3 over 2. This is the coordinate of 3 over 2 or 1.5 and 0. So let's find out the coordinate of these two, 0 and 3, somewhere around here. And 3 over 2 and 0, somewhere around here. 3 over 2. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Nak sketch graph yang susah sikit ni.
Take your time.
Okay, something like this. Okay, this is more proper. Okay, so this is the graph of y equal to 3 minus 2x. Guys, girls, let's refresh what you learned last time in Form 4 and Form 5 in modern maths and additional maths. In the term of y equal to mx plus c, where m is the gradient of the function and c is the value of y when x equal to 0. Okay, so now if I rearrange this in the form of y equal to negative 2x minus 2x and then 3 plus c. So you can see now the gradient is negative 2, okay, from left here sliding down to the right. Okay, so this is where the gradient is negative. Okay, now let's get back to this. This is the we call general function of y fx equal to 3 minus 2x, where the domain of this function from negative to positive infinity. Okay, this is a general function of y equal to 3 minus 2x. Then let's get back to the question here. They limit the domain from 1 until 3. So in this case, we need to come up with this extra information here, where x from 1 until 3, this is 3 over 2. 3 over 2 is 1.5. Okay, sekejap. Okay, so then this is 3 over 2. Alah, satu lagi lupa nak padam. Okay. Okay, let's say this is 3 over 2, which is 1.5. But then the domain is from 1 until 3. So this is 1 until 3. Okay, does it include 1 here? X greater than 1 only, greater than, meaning this is not a black dot, it's a circle here. Sorry. Okay. It's a circle here and circle here. So x from above greater than 1 and less than 3. So it means that here the graph from 1 until 3, x equal to 1 and y equal to x equal to 1 until x equal to 3. So what's going to happen to the rest of the graph? We erase it. Okay. So now this is the graph of y fx equal to 3 minus 2x for the x from x greater than 1 until x less than 3. So automatically this is domain of the function. Now let's get back to the question here. Determine the range. Range, okay, domain is all about x and range is all about y. So then let's map this graph to y-axis here. Okay. So now this is the range of the graph. This is the domain of the function, and this is the range of the function. Now to find the range of this, the easiest way is we substitute the value of x equal to 1 into this function f1. Okay, 3 minus 2 times 1. So 2 times 1 equal to 2, 3 minus 2 equal to 1. And f3, 3 minus 2 times 3, then 3, 2 times 3 equal to 6. So 3 minus 6 equal to negative 3 minus 6 equal to negative 3. So this is negative 3 and this is 1. So the domain is from negative 3 until 1. Do you find any selection of answers from negative 3 until 1? Yeah, that's it. C. Okay, so Rodhi, back to you.
Alright, cool. Okay, we got a request. Viewers send me a question. So it depends. Megat said he's going to stay until 9:30. So
Oh, okay. Alamak, dia ingat janji tu masalah tu.
kalau nak stay lah, which is I highly welcome.
Actually, because I promised something with my friends outside, so that's why I request that my time limit until 9:30.
Alright.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. It's alright.
Okay.
I mean, we are glad that you come here and hang out with us. That's very kind of you.
Okay, I'm willing to join this kind of program again. So get to know their Noralina Humaira from KMPH, Alia Badrul, college mana ni? I don't know. Okay, Wong, your colleague, Rodhi, from which college then?
KMPP lah, Wong.
KMPP. Oh, tak perasan, gambar kecil, tak nampak. Sorry. Sorry, gambar kan orang lain tak nampak muka kecil dia. Okay. So Rodhi, so that's all from me. Thanks for the invitation. I hope that we can cooperate again in next time.
Cooperate is so 80s, 90s lah. Sekarang kita kena collab lah.
Collab. Okay, so the thing is we do this for the benefit the student and for the goodness of the student. That's all. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Salam. See you again, inshallah.
Okay.
Right, so let's go ahead. Okay, I got this from a student. PM question. She PM in my WhatsApp. And I could not promise you whether I can stay until 10 because the baby still doesn't want to sleep. And my wife is not feeling that well. Okay, so let's try. This is quite tough question, especially the A1. A1 is quite tough. Right, so they want the domain of GX. Okay, so let's have a far more inspection on GX. Okay, so let's do the part one. Want to find the domain. Okay, normally if I give you a fraction, so for fraction, the limitation is there are ways. Some people like to think of what's the correct way. I mean, I like to think in terms of limitation. Because if you know what thing when it goes wrong, so you know that's the opposite is the answer. So limitation is you cannot divide by 0. As you can see, there's a fraction down here. So this is where we're gonna look. And then there's one more of the upper part. As if I say what's the limitation for the square root or surd, some people would like to call it that way. So the limitation is cannot. I mean, it must always be cannot negative lah. Cannot inside cannot be negative. Right, so let's work from there. So for the part where you cannot divide by 0, so x squared minus 4, it cannot be 0. So x is a plus minus 2. That one is easy. Okay, about the square root now, since it cannot be 0, cannot be negative. Sorry, you cannot square root a negative. So x plus 1 must always be or more equals to 0. Because if we cannot square root a negative number, then we're going to get. If you square root a negative number, it's going to be complex. So we're going to be imaginary numbers. Okay, so we need to work out from here. So if I draw a number line, negative 2, negative 1, and 2. For the purple one, for the fraction, it can be any numbers except those two numbers. For the square root one, it only need to be, it can be 0. I mean, it's from here, it can be negative 1, and it always be bigger than negative 1. Okay? So now, if I want to find the domain of it, then it need to satisfy both of these rules. Need to satisfy both rules. So if we need to satisfy both rules, is it going to be intersect or is it going to be union? And it's going to be intersect. So the intersection will be, except for that particular parts. So I can answer in the normal ways. Negative 1 until 2. Negative 1 is included. 2 is not included. And union of 2 to infinity. Okay, this is good enough for your level of answering. Let me double check. Yep, it is. Viewers, are you okay? This is quite tough. If you want me to explain, please do let me know. This is quite tough, that one. Oh, Amirul Idam, thank you. KMPP. Okay, I hope it's okay. Alright, let's continue. The second part. The second part here is asks us that find hx. This is going to be a bit troublesome. Let me copy paste again because it's quite a long question. By the way, viewers, currently I'm watching Cobra Kai season 5 and Bleach, the newest season. The 1,000 Years Blood War. Anybody here watch Bleach? Bleach is awesome for my time. Okay, so when you find hx, multiple way of solving, and I think the best way to solve this one is right. So we know as we can see here, if h x, you got back x. So what can we say from here? That means the relationship. Okay, it's the same stuff just now. That means the relationship of f and h, f and h, f and h. Okay, fine, auto correct. Understand lah. This auto correct kat situ. Fx. So that means here fx and hx is inverse of each other. We got back x. If I see this one, that means it's far easier if I just find f. I mean the inverse of. So that means if I want to find h, so just find h is a f inverse. There are multiple ways to find f inverse, but the one that I like is from our college from our SPM days. Simply just let y equals to 5x plus 1 over 4x. So now just make sure your x is one side. Anyway, do you watch Cobra Kai? I don't think so. Cobra Kai is this is from a continuation of Karate Kid. Karate Kid is within my time of era. It's not the Will Smith one, not the Jaden Smith. But the Jaden Smith's Karate Kid is cool as well. So now we collect all the X. What makes I like the current Cobra Kai? Because I think the fighting looks very genuine. I used to do martial art, so it's highly impressive. The X, we factorize the X. And about the Bleach anime just now, we waited for 10 years for the continuation. I mean, the manga finished, but the anime never finished. And since they have a lot of time, it looks the first episode looks very cool. I prefer to have an anime that take a long break for them to produce a highly quality one rather than like One Piece produce every week. And it has a lot of fillers. Better be like Attack on Titan, just take a long break and finish it off. Okay, so this one here, so F inverse. So F inverse X is this 1 over 4x minus 5. F inverse is also equals to the hx. Hx is F inverse x, which is 1 over 4x minus 5. That should be sufficient for your final. The answer at the back of the book, as given by your friend here that I got from the PM, is this. They are both the same stuff, and I think our answers are the better answers. because now I'm trying to explain the answer at the back. This one here, the negative one, I can multiply this negative. Okay, you need to understand this. Do you agree with me if I write down negative A over B is the same as negative A over B is the same as A over negative B? So you can move the negative around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move from here. I'm going to bring it down. So this negative, I'm going to take it down. I'm going to bring it down. So I'm going to get myself 1 over, multiply it. Negative 4x times negative, we got ourselves 4x. 5 times negative, negative 5, which is now is the same as ours over here. Okay. Yes, yeah, then our answer is better, the better answer compared to the answer given. So what about in exams? Well, in exams, they're going to accept both of them. Okay. Right, so there's one more question. This part. Given Px and Qx, show that Px and Qx are inverse of each other. Then it kind of the same style as just now. If I can show PQX equals to X, or I can show QPX equals to X, that means they are inverse of each other. If we can get this, then they are inverse of each other. And I guess it's a matter of choice, of preferences, which way you want to go. I think the easiest way is by using this, the right side. It's a lot easier. My reason is, we have a look. Okay, so we do Q first. Now we write down P, we write down P first. P is a ln 3x plus 6. Either way is fine as long as we got to the final part. First we open the Q. First we open the P, and then now we open the Q. Okay, as you look over here. Sorry, this one. So this whole thing now becomes the object of that. So I can rewrite it as E over 3 minus 2, and the power is ln 3x plus 6. Okay, and then from here you need to know that here's some tips for you. E ln x is x. Anything with the same base. So if I can give you 2, oopsie, my pen's not working well. 2 log x base 2 will be x. Remember, ln you can write down as log e. And a little bit of extra information for you. If I get myself, let's say here, oopsie. So that's on my computer. If I got here, let's say it says 7, you need to bring it up first. So you got yourself 7x, x power of 7. Same goes off here. If here is 5, so it becomes x power 5, then x power 5. Okay. So by using this logic, so I'm going to get myself, this is going to disappear. So just 3x plus 6 over 3. Now it got very easy. Minus 2. So simply 3x over 3x and 6 becomes 2 minus 2. And you can see they cancel off each other. So just x. So since we got ourselves, you may write down this in exams. Since qpx is equals to x, then qx and px are inverse of each other. You can choose any ways, the left-hand side, the QPX or the PQX. But I believe the QPX is easier. Let me ask my students, the one that PM me, are you okay? Let me PM her back. Do you want me to explain further? What viewers do you want me to explain further or not? Oh, Harry Woodroof, Amirul Adam, okay, PP student. Yo. It's already blue tick. And she's replying. Okay, all right. Thank you for asking. All right, okay, we finish with one last question and we call it a day. My son is keep quiet. But that's, you know, when the baby is quiet, sometimes it's far scary. Okay, so let's choose one more question. Is there any tough one? Okay, just now actually I found this tough one. Might be too tough. It's a yes, ERO. Nobody likes ERO. Okay, so let's try. Because it looks tough, so the tough one you need guidance. Okay, so we got B matrix B, and then you're gonna use the ERO, the dreadful ERO, elementary row operation. Matrix B and by this one here. And then you were given this clue B21. You need to remember a few things. I can write down as BINJ. So since it's written here 21, so by comparison, you can see that I is 2, J is 1. Okay. So now we need to be very careful, and I think the most important part is not to get panic. Once you got panic, then you say, yeah, you're not going to be able to solve it. So, see, let me. Okay, so I can write down this one here as 2. I is 2, J is 1. So it tells me here R2. We're gonna apply these steps. R2 plus K. We do not know what is K. R1, and we know that it told us here that we reduce to 0, so the answer is going to be 0. Okay, so what's our row 2? 2, 1 here, the 2, 1, B2, 1 here, it means this is going to apply on the 3. Remember what I said just now? The 1 is the column. Remember RC? So RC, row and column. Remote control, the column is here, row, column 1. And row 2, the row 2 is going to be there, 3. Okay, so applying it, the row 2 is 3. You're taking from the row 1, so the row 1 is 2. And we do not know what is K. And that's K as we do not know. And we know it's equals to 0. It was given that it's equals to 0. So what's the value of K? Then it's easily calculated over here. K is negative 3 over 2. Which I think that's the answer. Number 10. I have looked at this just now and I kind of forgot already. Okay, 10 is A. Are you guys okay? This is quite tough. I believe it's quite tough. You may ask me if you want me to re-explain again. You guys okay? Right lah. Yeah, you give me one moment. I'll be back. So the baby is drinking milk, so we can choose one last question before we're done. Macam ni lah sekarang. Ada baby. No, Atika said you want to write to repeat it. Okay, Atika Humairah request to be repeated because Atika, are you comfortable with this part? Atika, are you comfortable with that part? The IJ, so I is 2, J is 1. And then because of that, then I can manage to figure out this one here. And then I got, because now I know, because the 2, 1 there, so I get down here. I just replacing the I and J. Okay. And then since you were told that it's reduced to 0, this part here reduced to 0, so it's going to be equals to 0. Hope you're fine with it. All right, now, since we were told it's B21, since we were told it's B21 here, oopsie, I cannot write the other one off. Since we are told it's a B21 here, so I need to find which one is the B21. So that means row 2, column 1. The column 1 is over. The column 1 is over here. Then row 2, that means is here, 3. So we're going to apply it. So the row 2 here is 3. And then it takes from the row 1. We're gonna interact with the row 1. Row 1 is here, 2. So that's how I got 3 plus K2. We do not know the value of K. That's what we're trying to find. And it's equals to 0 because we told that the interaction will be reduced to 0. So that's how I got myself K is negative 3 over 2. Yeah, this one takes some time. Are you okay now, Atika? Hopefully. Atika, you okay? Yeah, that's quite tough. I have to admit. That's why I choose it. Okay, we got one last question to choose before we end. Yeah, this one looks interesting. Last one, number 20. Interesting, aka also annoying. But if it's understanding question, I think I don't mind. Okay, so let's try. So which of the following have the domain of a set 5? You can see it. You can see here. Let's start with this one. There's a X set 5. The thing that came up to my mind, I mean, it's all, I can say it's all real numbers at set 5. If you are from my student, if you watch my YouTube, you understand that this means excluding set 5, element 5. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be fractions. Hey, look, all of them are fractions. And as we have mentioned just now about fraction, what's the limitation of fraction? The limitation, you cannot divide by 0. What happens if you divide by 0? Then the world gonna be destroyed. You can search divide by 0 meme. Yeah, you can Google it out. Divide by 0 memes. M-E. And yeah, while we are at it, okay, so sorry, I would love to show. Divide by 0 meme. And I would love to show you what's my favorite meme of them. You can go and Google it. There's a lot. There's a lot. The one that's my favorite. My favorite. I hope it's still there. Where are you? Maybe I scroll too fast. I got too excited. Yeah, I got too excited. I found it. I'm loading the picture to the higher level quality. Because if you divide by 0, this will happen to you. Your maths teacher will be so angry. There is one piece. Kainu and white beard behind it. Okay, so you cannot divide by 0. So let's have a look what happened when. Which one is it? So gonna be here and here. So just 1 and 3. So in other words, 2 and 4 has been taken out. And let's use the SPM method. Oh, we got our answer straight away. EG. Okay, I think that's good enough lah. They try to mess around. Okay, I think that's all for today. Anyway, thank you for coming for tonight. I think that's all. Saya pun kena minta diri dulu, taking care of my baby. Okay, thank you for coming for tonight. I hope it's entertaining enough for you and you learn something new. Okay, yeah, I think good luck for your UPS too. Actually, someone messaged me and in my YouTube they said they were going to do for UPS too. So I said Friday night going to do it. Okay, I hope you are here, the guy. Right, that's all. Thank you for coming and please comment, share, like, and subscribe. And all the best for your UPS. And yeah, see you again for the next Ask Us Anything session. Bye. Okay, Nurul Fikriah, Kamal Zaman. Thank you for coming. Welcome. Bye. That's all. Have a good weekend. Nice.